Hey everyone, and welcome to another GameXplain discussion. I'm your host, Derek Bittner, and I'm joined today by John Cartwright and Steve Bowling to give our thoughts on the new Detective Pikachu TV spot. All 10 new seconds of it. So let's get started. So yeah, we got a new TV spot for Detective Pikachu. Most of it is old footage from the first trailer that came out, but we did get some new scenes featuring Mr. Mime, Psyduck, and our first look at Snubbull. So, I mean, why not? Let's talk about it, because I think there is a little bit to say about this trailer and perhaps the direction of Detective Pikachu, but we'll have to see. But before we actually get into that, Steve, you weren't here for our first reaction to the Detective Pikachu trailer. So just real quick, what are your thoughts of this movie?
I'm cautiously optimistic. I think that Detective Pikachu could go either way. It's definitely going to make just truckloads and truckloads of money. But as far as being a quality film, I think it will be watchable. I don't think it's going to be something that, you know, as an adult really interests me all that much. But I think the casting of Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu was a really smart choice for parents that end up being taken by their children to go see this movie. So that said, I think the rendition, like the way they've realized Pokemon's world and transferred it to a live-action film is about as good as you can get with just how crazy the world is in Pokemon. So I'm excited to see it. I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, that's kind of how we felt on it. But the more I see that trailer, the more I actually I get kind of excited for it. Like, I was at the theater pretty recently to see the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, and this trailer played in front of it. And all the other trailers that played, like, they even, like, to put our point into effect, John, the Toy Story 4 trailer teaser played before the Detective Pikachu one. Not a peep. Nobody just said anything. It was just dead silent, and there were kids in the theater. But the Detective Pikachu movie trailer played. People were talking, people were laughing, people were getting into it. So this definitely has a lot of potential. But now let's get into this teaser. And John, what did you think of this little teaser?
Well, as you said, there's not a whole lot of new stuff in here. But Snubbull is a big boy. I'm looking at him right now, and he is much larger than I thought he'd ever be. His face is basically wider than a human's body. And I always thought Snubbull was kind of a short little dog-like thing, but this is kind of a monstrous size. It's cool to see Pokemon in like new dimensions and from a new perspective, but he just seems way too large to me.
Yeah, I think that's the big issue here, because Snubbull is always like maybe up to your knee, if that, on the trainer. But yeah, it's about the size of Pikachu, especially I remember from the Pikachu's Summer Vacation movie, that little short that played before the Pokemon, the first movie. Snubbull was there, and he was about the size of Pikachu. So this Snubbull is freaking massive.
He's gigantic. Like you said, I've seen that Summer Vacation movie as well, and you know, the canon in Pokemon kind of makes him out to be this tiny little guy. So it's interesting to see that they're taking liberties with the dimensions of Pokemon as well as the general look of them to try to get them to fit in with real people.
Right, but I guess if they're trying to make it fit in with real people, shouldn't Snubbull be the size of a dog? I think it's anything I breed a dog that's this large. Maybe like a Great Dane or a Mastiff or something, but...
Yeah, you make a good point, but I mean, I wonder if it's on the table or something, but even still, the head is huge. I don't know exactly how to feel about that, but that's the funny thing. That the size of it is the only issue I have, because otherwise, I think Snubbull looks pretty great.
Yeah, he looks fantastic. I'm really digging these redesigns for these Pokemon. I haven't found one yet that I feel is like a miss or anything. They all look really cool.
I think when you kind of try and make Pokemon look realistic, you run the risk of them just looking like humans in giant outfits. They don't really look like that in Detective Pikachu. Like, all of them look like real animals. But I will say, out of all the Pokemon we've seen so far, I would say, I guess this one looks the most like a human in a giant outfit. I think that might just be because of the size.
I think it's the size of the head. You could see easily taking that off and putting it on your own head and like, okay, I'm a mascot now.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I look at the details. The nose looks good. It has the 2 teeth. It has the ears. You can see in the widescreen version that somebody took a video of on their own TV, you can kind of see the cuff of its neck. Like, all the details are right there that you would expect for a Snubbull. But it's the size. That's the only weird part. And it is by the way, it is very odd that they only released it in this phone format that gives you the worst look at this thing.
Oh yeah, and with the huge text subtitles on it as well. It's just such a poor delivery system for a trailer like this. The fact that we're talking about it now, quite a bit after it aired, and it's still not on YouTube in a normal format is just kind of weird.
Yeah. But I guess we're still not missing out on that much, though. I mean, obviously there's still half the screen that we're missing, but the actual trailer itself is just kind of an elaboration on the last one. But there are a few new scenes. Like there's one where Mr. Mime's sort of running on the spot, and it looks like something's chasing him. It looks like something's going towards him, and he's just kind of miming a run animation. But yeah, just the way the camera's zooming in, it looks like he's being pursued by something. I'm not sure if you guys got that too. Is he just miming, or is he actually being chased?
I'm with you, John. I think he was being chased, and I think it ties into the scene where Pikachu is interrogating Mr. Mime later on. I think this might be where they catch up to him to bring him in for questioning.
That's a good idea.
That could fit in quite well, yeah.
Yeah, that makes complete sense, yeah. That wasn't the scene on my mind, though, throughout this trailer. Let's talk about how this trailer ends, or this TV spot ends, because...
Oh, boy.
I mean, the first trailer was wonderful because we never got a single fart joke. It's like, okay, we're taking this seriously as, Pokemon fans and all that. And then we get a fart joke at the end of this TV spot. And I'm conflicted on it because I know kids like their fart jokes. It's a whatever scenario. And the reasoning behind it, I'm kind of okay with, because he's saying I've been drinking too much coffee, which is directly how the character is in the Detective Pikachu game. He drinks a lot of coffee. He loves his coffee. So I'm like, dang it, that's some good characterization for him, but they had to squeeze in a fart joke, and that's... dang it.
And that is a good point. We haven't really seen much of Detective Pikachu's character yet. Like, we haven't even seen him really be a detective yet. And that's what I was kind of hoping for from this trailer, just sort of seeing like the side of him where he's actually detecting things. But yeah, instead we get a little bit of the coffee sense from him, but it's not the way we want it to be delivered.
Not at all. As somebody who likes to throw off-the-wall questions to people when I interview them, I'm really not looking forward to the next year of people asking if and how Pikachu farts to people from Game Freak. So, because I guarantee you there will be at least one at this year's E3 or something. Whenever they make them available for interviews, somebody's going to get asked how many Pokemon fart, and I'm sure there will be articles and all kinds of stuff that kind of just takes this and runs with it. And yeah, I don't really need to know about Pokemon bodily functions. I'm okay without thinking about that. So
I mean, that thought didn't even cross my mind, Steve. I'm sure you've issued that thought into millions of people's minds now.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That's going to be
exactly 1.1 million people's minds.
Well, I don't know if that
guys.
many people are going to be watching this itself, but yeah. It is strange, but I mean, even the fact that like Pokemon eggs, where they come from, are still a mystery according to the games.
Which I like.
Yeah. So, yeah. Honestly, I really don't have a whole lot else to say about this TV spot. I mean, we can't even really call it a trailer. Again, 10 seconds of new footage. But I still wanted to get our thoughts out there, especially because of the joke at the end and the reveal of Snubbull. And I'd say I don't think this has raised or lowered my expectations. Like, maybe the fart joke kind of did, but I'm already kind of recovering from it. And, I'm still going to see this.
I think I'm okay with trailers not spoiling everything about this movie too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, I want to see a few more than just 10 seconds of footage, but I'm okay with them sort of holding most of their jokes back for the actual movie. And if that fart joke if that's like one of the worst jokes in the movie, then that's fine. Put that in the trailer.
Yeah.
Keep the best stuff for the movie, please.
Yeah, I'm with Derek. It didn't really move the needle for me in terms of my expectations for the movie. I still am going to go see it. I'm hoping that we see a lot more Pokemon in the final product than we have in the trailers, but I'm also okay with them not showing those to us. Because I think one of my favorite things about the trailers so far has been seeing new Pokemon designs, and as long as they hold at least a few back for when the movie actually comes out, that'll give me reason enough to go to the theater. Because so far the designs, even though Snubbull is quite a bit larger, they're fantastic so far. I really like seeing them, and I'm interested to see what they do with, even more of the Pokedex.
Mm-hmm. And it's cool that it's not just Gen 1 as well. It's neat that they're sort of expanding across all generations of Pokemon. Because I guess when they do movies like this, when they do mainstream movies, it's probably quite easy to pander to that Gen 1 audience. But Snubbull is Gen 2, so it's great just to see a bit more diversity with them.
Yeah, and not to mention we've got Greninja, who's very recent. So
right.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I'm curious to see what they're going to do with it, and I have a feeling we'll probably get a new trailer sometime soon. Like, you know, we're definitely going to get at least a second trailer for this before it comes out, and that'll really determine, like, that's probably going to be the one that's more story focused rather than here's the concept.
With 4 months to release, they've got plenty of time to release another trailer, maybe in March or sometime, you know, maybe even sooner, but I do think we'll get another one that focuses more on what the story of this movie is to get people kind of hooked into wanting to go see it rather than just, hey, it's Pokemon in a realistic setting.
Mm-hmm. They stick this thing, they can get a second trailer or a trailer in front of Avengers or Captain Marvel or something like of that caliber before it comes out, it's gonna get turned a lot of heads. So
oh yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
It's still in pretty good shape, but yeah, I think that covers it for our Detective Pikachu discussion. So thank you for watching, and if you like this video, be sure to like us on Facebook and Twitter at GameXplain, and of course make sure to subscribe to GameXplain for more on Pokemon and other things gaming as well. Until next time, bye.